Man, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, and what up? Welcome to another week of Journey of a Jackass, and I am your host, Daya Shakur. Man, I hope everybody's surviving this winter, right? Hope everybody's surviving this winter. It's been kind of brutal out with all the snowstorms and the freezing temperatures and stuff like that. I know for most of the country, everybody got a little bit of snow. Everybody got a little bit of sleet, rain. But I know everybody getting this cold, no matter where you at in the country right now, right? I supposed to be leaving to go on a cruise here shortly. And I got a notification about heavy winds and all that stuff. So I don't give a fuck. I'm still getting off the ship. I'm still gonna be out there doing bald head hoe shit. Hey, but man, I hope everybody's doing good though, right? Hey, this year, 2026 just started, and it feel like this year is blowing by fast, right? So the summer's here. Start planning y'all summer trips and stuff like that, right? Start planning y'all summer trips. And then I got a special announcement tonight for the community event, right? For the community event, it's gonna be a can. I'm doing a canned food drive, but I get more into it. All right. I did the coat drive, so I'm doing the canned food drive. All right. So we start filling some of these pantries back up. You hear me? Now, tonight, I got a very, very special guest tonight. You know what I'm saying? Entrepreneur, filmographer, actor. You know, he gets to it. You know what I'm saying? I got Travis Rey in the building, all the way from Florida. I got Travis Rey in the building, right? So before we bring him on, you know what I'm saying? He's an entrepreneur. He has a bow tie boutique. Right? So before we get to him, story time with me. Now, again, I come on here every week. I tell stories about all the things I've been through, stuff like that, all the places I've been, all the things I've been through, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Before we get to I just handle it after this. I was gonna tell you about the last week videos on YouTube. But anyway, right? So, you know, I've had times where I like to dress like nice and fancy and stuff like that, right? Go out, have a good time. I went out this past weekend, went to see a backyard, had a good time, stuff like that, right? But this is a not so subtle story, all right? Now, he like bow ties. I like bow ties too. I like ties, right? So let's get to this story time. So this is when I was younger, right? Younger in my 20s, stuff like that, right? My partner was getting married. Like, he was getting married. Everything was great. It was good to go. Like, man, everybody was celebrating. We was getting ready. Like, it was about to go down, right? It was like, yeah. So we was partying every day up until the date, right? So, it was just a courthouse wedding. It wasn't nothing serious. It wasn't no big blowout wedding, stuff like that. It was just in the courthouse on a Saturday morning. We go out there, they get married, that would be that. See, we told him it was a chick, it was a foreigner. And we told him not to marry her because we knew she just wanted citizenship. Once she got citizenship, she was gonna divorce him, right? So he didn't believe me. I was like, look, man, I'm telling you right now, you might as well find your girlfriend because this lady's going to cheat soon as y'all get married or whatever, or she's going to leave, right? So I said, hey, well, since y'all get married this Saturday, let's do a bachelor's party. He said, okay, cool. Yeah, we're going to do a bachelor's party, blah, blah, blah. Set it up. I said, okay, cool. So me being funny, I got 3 chicks. 3 chicks. One chick was thick as a motherfucker. Thick. I was like, wee. All natural thick. I was like, shit. Thick as a motherfucker. She wasn't trying to get no foot up though. Like, why you out here at this bachelor party? You ain't trying to get no foot here. You know what I'm talking about? Shit. So anyway, and then it was a skinny one. You know what I'm saying? She had that little body, whatever case may be. But then it was one that was built like a bowling ball. I'm talking about she was built like a center block. This bitch like a wisdom tooth, built bad like an apple. She had a little neck like the apple still, built like an apple. I was like, ew, why y'all bring her? man, you know, so we in there at the bachelor party, everybody dancing, music playing, the girls in there stripping. We like, And then the big girl kept trying to come around putting her beer belly and A-cup titties in everybody's face. And you know what I'm saying? I was like, but she was going though. She was going. If somebody wanted to smash her, she would let them smash. She was going for sure. So anyway, so we all in there, and I was dressed up. I had a bow tie on and a tank top. I had a bow tie on the tank top. We did that joint because I had a shirt on, and then when the girl that was sticking his hair out, I took this off. I was like, man, shit, we have to go in the room for a second. You know what I'm saying? She's like, no, I'm not doing that. Shit, I wish. So anyway, so we in there partying, have a good time. And they said, the signature was like, how many hours y'all want us for? She said, we having a good time because we had already paid them and they was making tips, whatever the case may be. They was having a good time. They said, well, we ain't in no rush to leave. Can we, you know what I'm saying, drink and have a good time? I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't got no more money to get tonight. Y'all might as well stay here with us and continue to make money, right? So this shit was crazy. So we in there, we having a good time. And then next thing you know, niggas start getting lit. The shallow house started kicking in because the big girl wasn't so big. After about like 3 or 4 hours of drinking, and we was drinking Everclear, E&J. So when I named these drinks, everybody know where I was stationed at when this happened. So we was drinking Everclear, E&J. We was drinking St. Ives. We was drinking Old English 800s. Like we was getting it in. Like the vodka. We was drinking Still Reserves. Man, listen. It was terrible. So anyway, so we in there partying still. I turn the music up, right? Next thing you know, the Bachelor starts sucking on the fat chick titties. I said, uh-oh, here we go. I was drunk, but the shallow hound didn't get me that much. But it got him and a bunch of other ones, right? So I'm sitting in there. I said, I started going over to the girl, the thick ass girl, because she was thick as a motherfucker. I wanted her. Man, she was thick as a motherfucker. I was like, So I took my tank top off. I started swerving around in her face. Only thing I got was a bow tie, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. Now, watching this shit take a wicked twist, right? So it started getting late, like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, it's 4:30 in the morning, something like that, right? So the Bachelor takes in the other room and starts smashing the big joint. So I'm like, oh man, y'all better not be fucking on my bed. Right? Y'all better not be fucking on my bed. Then I forgot I wasn't at my fucking house. So I didn't give a fuck, right? So anyway, so they go in that joint, they start smashing. Next thing you know, 2, 3 niggas going in. And I walked down, so fuck y'all in here doing? Working her ass over. The big joint came in on a mission, and the mission got completed. Every hole she had was getting filled up. Right? So we out there partying, and the other girls just chilling and drinking right now, sitting on the sofa and all that stuff. And I'm all in the bitch was pretty, man, thick. I was all in her ear, like, man, you know, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Man, I'm trying to see what's up. Like, you ain't gotta do this no more. You know how niggas when they say a beautiful ass stripper, you ain't gotta do this no more. So I was like, shit, you know, whatever the case may be, right? So the chicks was like, well, we gotta go. So she was still in there getting to work. She was still in getting to work. So they walked in there and she was like, girl, you good? And then one of my homeboys, she good. We make sure she get home, right? And she's like, they was like, all right, bitch, just call us so we know you safe. So other girls left, right? So my homeboy, he left. I guess he got his dude and he left. And then the dude, where we was at, you know what I'm saying? He was in that joint, still doing his thing. And the Bachelor was in that joint with his bow tie on, naked, and fell asleep in the bed while they was getting there. They fell asleep in there naked together with the chicken bed, one on one side, one on the other side. I said, man, look at this. Oh, this is so cute, blah, blah, blah. So around 5 o'clock in the morning, we get a knock on the door. Don't. I'm thinking it's because the music was loud, but the music was low, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? You know who it was? It was his motherfucking fiance. I was like, oh, what you doing here? I was trying to let her. She's like, I'm looking for, my fiance, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. She had a strong accent. I'm looking for my fiance. I was like, oh shit, here we go. So she said, where is he? I know he's here. I know he's here. I know he's here. She's going around looking at all the rooms and all that stuff. And by this time, I was fucking punished drunk because I barely recognized it. I was punished drunk, but I wasn't punished drunk enough to hit the big bitch. So anyway, she goes, and then she opened the door. I said, damn, I should have locked the door. She went in the room, seen him. Oh my God, what are you doing? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He was so, the chick woke up, right? The chick woke up. And then she went in the bathroom. He was so drunk, he didn't get up. The other dude was so drunk, he didn't get up, right? I'm talking about knock. She smacked him on the head. Bow, get up, get up. Look. He was not drunk, drained, good to go, right? So I was like, man, I don't know what's going on, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, here's where the twist comes. What didn't none of us like this chick anyway? So I was like, well, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? You can just go ahead and go home. I guess the wedding is all. She said, no, fuck that. We still getting married, but I'm going to get even. I was like, what the fuck? So the fat bitch came out. I said, you come out the bathroom, man. She didn't even, man, she don't fight or nothing like that. So, okay, I just came in for the party, and I was giving them private dances. That's all it was. Like, why are they naked? She's like, well, I just give them private dances. So like, don't worry about it. Good. Came out, they closed the door, went in the back room by the little garage, and then she's like, pull me around there, start giving me some head. Pulled my pants down. Only thing I had was a bow tie on. I was drunk as a motherfucker. Guess what I did? I knocked down his fiance with a bow tie on, right? Did like this. Started hitting her. Boom, boom, boom. Hitting her. And then, she was sounding off, sounding off, all that stuff. I was like, damn, man, you're my dog, girl. I said, but we told him not to marry you because this was going to happen anyway. So I didn't feel bad. So anyway, she goes out there and sleeps on the sofa, right? The fiance goes out there and falls asleep on the sofa, right? I drained her dry. I was drunk as a motherfucker. I wake up, they all wake up. She's sitting on this side sofa with just in her drawers with her titties out, and I'm sitting at the end of the sofa just with a bow tie on, right? They said, man, what the fuck going on out here, man? What the fuck is going on out here? What the fuck is going on out here? I said, shit, man, I was just sitting down here with my bow tie on. The strippers did a party before they left, and you know what I'm saying? They said, what the fuck is she doing? I said, she came in looking for you and found you in there with the fat bitch, right? Then she looked at him and said, I came here looking for you, but I fucked him. Now we're even, because I know you got some pussy last night. So he looked at me. We looked at each other. We all looked at each other. Says, everybody good? I said, yeah. So my homeboy took the fat chick home. I think he fucked her again in the car. Took her home. And them two still went to the courthouse and got married. We all showed up like nothing happened the night before. And then when they divorced, I was the first person she called. And the whole time they was married, she kept trying to come back and give me something. So moral of the story is, I've had some bow tie adventures. That's why I got Travis on here to talk about the bow tie boutique and all that stuff, right? Bow ties always work out for me. I have many adventures in bow ties. And this is just one of them. I ain't mean to knock down his fiance, but that thing was good. And that's story time with me. Yeah. The wicked twist. They still got married though, and they were married for a long time too. But she was home. Like when we deployed, she was popping that pussy for a real nigga and back in the United States. For anybody that wanted, told him not to marry her. I was like, if she did this to you the night before y'all got married, she savage just like you. And she kept trying to get me to fuck her raw. So imagine what she was doing while you were deployed. So anyway, so tonight I have a very, very special guest on here, man. Very, very special guest, man. Entrepreneur, filmmaker, you know what I'm saying? Director, actor, you know what I'm saying? Community activist, you know what I'm saying? I got Mr. Travis Rey coming to the stage.
Thank you for having me on, man.
See, I need to write a book. I'm an author, so I should write a book called The Bowtie Chronicles.
Right. So, and then look, just so for all the listeners now, so it's not my fiance, but look, I'll take credit because I'm gonna be making them bow tie for you.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, baby, this one custom made. Come on over here and get some of this
Right.
work. You know what I'm saying? Man, what's going on up there? I know with you being in the business like that, I'm sure you've had some experiences like this before. Like, hey, come on over here. I got this bow tie. I just want to see how it look. Why you sitting there looking at me?
Right. It's all kinds of crazy stuff that don't happen. Yeah. But I think that's, that's the beauty of life too. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
what you were saying earlier with your story and stuff like that. Like, it could go so many different ways. And I think that's the beautiful thing about it. And then at the end of the day, the one thing that still remained on you was that bow tie.
It's a silly bow tie. I talk about, everybody woke up, they said, what the fuck? I was sitting at the end of the sofa, butt nigga, the bow tie. I was just like, man, what's up, man? Like,
Yeah.
I like, man, I was tired and drunk. I didn't even feel like putting no drawers back on. I was just sitting there, and it looked bad because she had some nice ass titties, nice little perky titties, and she was just sitting there, laying there, just titties all out. I was like, dang, at least she had decent put her drawers back on.
Right.
But I wish I hit that stripper though. That stripper was, if she was thick as a motherfucker. I was way back in my younger, more volatile. I probably would pay for it that
night. Look, ain't nothing wrong with living. You know.
Now tell everybody who you are, man.
Yeah. So thank you again for having me on. So like you said, I'm Travis Rey. I'm the owner, founder, and CEO of Dapper Boutique, which is an online bow tie and accessory business. And then I'm also, an actor, a director in theater. I'm also a college professor too here in Florida. So a lot of people, I teach as an adjunct professor, teaching acting one. But yeah, so that's a little bit about me. And I'm just like I said, I'm blessed to be here. Because it's you know how it is when you're working, not only working your regular job, but then also to having your own business and trying to run all of that.
Yep.
I need. I'm a person that laughs all the time, but I need opportunities like this where I can just be myself,
And let
just
your head down.
reconnect. Yeah, just
Yep.
connect with people and also to just tell my story because we don't always get these opportunities.
Yep. Well, it did not only that. So I feel you to the utmost with that, right? Because
Yeah.
like I work. So I work from 6 o'clock in the morning to 2:30 in the afternoon. And I tell people my real work day starts when I get off because I got to make sure all my books are doing good. I got to make sure my shows are scheduled and planned out. You know what I'm saying? All my other business ventures I have going on, I got to make sure they're good. I'm emailing people like trying to get them to come on the show. I'm trying to see when the next casting calls is for movies, things
All
like
of
that.
that.
Like all day. Like, so people like, when do you sleep? You have all this stuff going on. When do you sleep? I'm like, everybody get the same 24 hours. This what I do with mine.
I break mine up, and that's the thing with my business too. So I'm working in the morning. I usually get up at 7 o'clock. Then from there, I'm getting to work 9, and I work from 9 to 6. And then usually from that 6 o'clock on, I go and I'm working my business, and it's all kinds of stuff or other things inside gigs like you was mentioning that I do, and
Yep.
and it's just how it is. I've always been one of those children that was like constantly like into things, doing stuff, all this
Me
kind of
too.
stuff. But I think also, too, though, when I just do one thing for me, I feel like I'm missing out on something. I feel like, what? That's it. And
Yeah,
so
yep.
all of a sudden,
Yeah.
I end up working or doing something, but that's just me. And I feel like when I'm doing that, I feel like I'm really getting a chance to connect, but also live because
Yep.
I'm doing the things I want to do. And I
So
think that's the thing too.
so my therapist told me when I broke down everything that I be doing, like everything, like and even when I was in the military, I had all these multiple jobs, like cage fighting, combatives. You know what I'm saying? I was like platoon, master fitness dude, training this, training that, doing all this stuff, right? And she said, I was like, I've been like this since I was in high school. She said, that's called John Henryism. You just feel like you have to work. And because I told her I feel I had trouble sleeping at night because I
Same.
feel like I feel like I'm missing something.
Exactly me. And that started with me when I can remember. It started with me when I was in kindergarten.
Yep.
So I felt like I was missing something. So like back then it was with my parents, like whatever show or something they was watching, I didn't want to go to sleep because I felt like I was missing something. And
Yep.
then as I got older, I still had, and I wasn't, not really an insomniac or anything, but it was just, I always said, it felt like for me, I started to wake up closer
Hmm.
and closer to like 10, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. It's like, oh, my mind is like wide
Right.
awake.
Racing. And now I try to do things at night, like meditate. I try to read. I try
Mhm.
to do things to make sure that I'm tired, but it don't work. After a while, it works for a little bit, then it just don't be working. And then
Yeah.
next thing you know, I'm right. Like I have 6 books coming out this year, so I just sit up and I just start writing.
Yeah,
Uh,
but that's called a mind dump. So I
yeah.
used to do the mind dump thing. So I used to just write things, whatever, just random things. I would write it in like my journal, a notebook, or scratch piece of paper, or something like that. And I
Uh-huh.
would always I would be doing that for a long time, like at least 2 hours would pass. And I said, well, let me use this energy effectively and do something else. And so that's all about like just in general how I started getting into all these other things with the business and everything, because it was like, okay, you know what, if I'm gonna be up anyway,
Uh-huh.
let me use the energy and put it to something that's gonna not only make me make me happy, but also something that I can put some extra dollars in my pocket, I can connect with people, I can do something,
Yep.
and so that was a part of the business too.
Yep. And like, I'm the same way. That's why I'm always doing like networking events. I'm talking to people and stuff like that. I'm over 100 episodes. This is episode 111 for me, but I've done other things in between. So I'm technically probably around like episode 120, and I've had over 100 guests.
Oh, that's
So
amazing.
yeah, yeah. So it's like everywhere I go, I'm like, yeah, man, you want to come on my show? This is what you do. Come on, blah blah blah. And then I just love seeing the end result. People listen to the show, like, oh man, like they shopping for their cigars, they buying their clothes, their bow ties, listen to
Right.
their music. I'm like, yeah,
Mhm.
man, come on.
Right. And again, that right there too, being able to give back to all of us too, like that's amazing for me to be someone on the receiving end of that.
Hmm.
I really appreciate that. But also too, I think that that's the thing, when we're able to just like help put the word out there, and then you can connect so many people. Because my first order was it was in Los Angeles, California, through like Instagram. Somebody didn't know me from Adam,
Yep.
and I did yeah, I did 25 bow tie sets for
Uh,
the bridal party, I mean the wedding party, and like some of their guests. And those people didn't know me from a can of paint.
yep. No, no. Look, I'm telling you, it be like that though. Like it be like that.
I
The
love it.
more I got in the business, the more I realized that the people that know you ain't your biggest supporters. That's why
No.
I'm an advocate for shaking the stranger hand.
Mhm.
So let me ask you this. So out of all the clothing things, scarves, hats, shirts, everything, what made you get into bow ties?
Well, to be honest, I actually started with I had t-shirts, I had baseball caps, I had scar, all that kind of stuff. But the
Uh,
thing about it was when I started making bow ties, I was just doing them for myself. So I was just doing them for myself because I couldn't find like prints and designs and stuff like that that I really liked.
yeah.
This is like 8 years ago when I first started. And
Mhm.
so I started making bow ties for myself and like little matching pocket squares and all this kind of stuff. And then people was like, where did you get that? And I said, oh, I said, I just made this for myself. And it
Yep.
was like, you made it? I said, yeah. They
Yeah.
said, how long you been sewing? And I was like, I've been sewing since I was in 7th grade. So I learned to
Damn.
sew back in school. Like they back when schools actually did like wood shop and all
Home
that.
economics and yeah, and shop and all that.
And
Those are
then
my
at my
favorite subjects.
school, you
Yep.
didn't have no choice. If you was a
Yep.
boy, you actually we had to take home ec first.
Yep.
And
And
did
then
none of us want to do it. And I remember that like it was yesterday.
yep, yep. And then man, but when we got into that shop class, we was in there
Yep.
cutting wood and
Uh-huh.
welding and cutting stuff.
Welding,
I was like,
all of that.
yeah, yep,
We was changing tires. We was dealing with
yep,
we had fake like stock accounts. We had checking account. We learned about all that
yep,
farming and all that stuff that they need to put back in schools. But then back to what you was asking me. Yes, it was me making for myself. Then
uh,
I started gifting to people just for like their birthdays or something like that, just friends of mine. Then all
uh,
of a sudden, people was like, "Oh, you know what? Let me just give you a little something, a little piece of money at least, so that you can, get some fabrics or something, just for your time." And
yeah,
then so that went on for like a year. I was like doing it for a year, and then all of a sudden, um, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should start me a little LLC or something. And I, instead of that, I started a sole proprietorship. And then the following year is when I started my LLC. But it started because I was literally just making for myself. And then
Yeah.
this whole thing shifted spiritually. I started having these dreams about like I know them to be like my angels, my ancestors now. And then one of them had brought, it was like a bow tie similar to what I'm wearing, and then she dropped it and it fell in my hand, on my head and in my hands and everything. And
Dang.
then I didn't think nothing about it except the next morning I said, you know what, I think I'm on the right track. I'm going to start this business.
Yep.
And so 2 years after I had started my business, I went to visit my uncle in Alabama, and I
Uh-huh.
looked on his wall, and he had the same lady that I saw in my dream was literally the lady that was on his wall. And
What?
he told me, he said, you don't know her. He said, that's my mama. He said, that's your grandmother. And he said, she did head to toe fashion. He said, she was literally, he said she was a tailorist. She worked at a sewing factory, but
What? Like,
she,
if
but
that
she
ain't a
also
sign,
did, she literally did the stuff on the side. She did her own business on the side. And he
I,
told me, he said, you know, you get your gift of sewing from your grandmother.
I,
And I said, I was like, and he was right, but I had already started the business, not even knowing the history of my grandmother or any of that. But I had seen
yeah.
her in that dream, my dream. And so, like, that's how truly the business got started. It was me just, I already had the skill. I taught myself how to do the ties and all stuff. And I was designing shirts. Like I said, I was designing like hats and things like that. I had my own sunglasses, all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
But the thing was so funny that stuck was always the bow ties, little pocket squares, little stuff. I've done head wraps for people.
Mhm.
I've done like fix people's like pants and jackets and shirts and all. I can do
I
all that
like
kind of
hymns
stuff.
and all that stuff. So,
All
and so
that.
but if that's not a sign, that's a sign. That means this is your calling for real. So
Absolutely.
if you had a dream, if you had a dream, and then you go, it seems like they're like, oh yeah, this is why you're doing the things that you're doing, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, that is amazing. That is amazing, right? So you said you've been doing this for 8 years. So
Yep.
on this 8 year journey, right? What are some of like the highlights or some of the peak points you've had so far on this journey?
Oh, absolutely. I think one of the biggest highlights for me was right before around the pandemic. I was in 8 boutiques.
Uh-huh.
And what happened with the boutiques, I transitioned from the boutiques to now here in Florida. I'm in the historic Leonard Reed House. So it's an African American art gallery. They sell all of my items in their gift store. And so
Wow.
that was like one of the major things. So I shifted from the individuals, and then I also ended up getting small business grants from a local grantor here. And
Uh-huh.
so I actually teach kids, usually in the springtime, I teach kids here how to sew by hand and by machine. The kids don't bring in nothing. They
Yeah.
show up. I have the sewing machines, I have the fabrics, I have everything, and I teach them how to sew by hand and by machine. And we make all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff.
And
Like
man,
we
and,
do everything.
and I'm telling you right now, that's what we need. That's why, like, it's important what you said earlier. Like, they need to put home ec and trade back in school, like shop
One
back in
hundred
school.
percent.
Because I mean, like, these kids don't know how to change tires and stuff like that. Like,
All
uh,
of that.
I mean, fucking young women can't cook. Like,
They can't cook, can't iron, can't
they
steam,
can't
can't
see
clean the
nothing.
house.
Because you ain't learning at home because your mama wasn't doing it. Goddamn.
Right.
So I'm like, damn. And I be seeing these youngers out here. I'm like, man, your battery's dead. Change your battery. How you do that? Like, man, what the
Uh-huh.
fuck?
Oh, no. And see, my father was a mechanic, but like all of the cars that I've ever had, I would do the battery, I would do the
Oh,
basic everyday stuff
yep,
to keep me from having to go to the shop to get my
yep,
car fixed. I did
yep,
I do all of that. All of it.
yeah. So now 8 years on this journey. Now with your accomplishment now, right?
Mhm.
With you being in such a prestigious placement, right?
Yep.
Do you see yourself going into major department stores or anything like that, or is this something with the way online is working and the way stores are closing down? Do you feel like you want to move towards a major department stores and like that?
So yeah, so I'm open to the idea for the major department stores, but I feel like my journey has always been boutique, 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 and
Yeah,
then from boutiques it's been like the art galleries,
yeah.
and so I love that because
Mm-hmm.
it still gives me that brick and mortar feel
Uh-huh.
without me having to go through the overhead to do it. And so I love the idea of eventually getting to a major department store, but for
Uh-huh.
right now, I'm seeing my track has always been like little boutique stores and then
Mm.
now with the art gallery, this is actually my third art gallery.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I'm gonna tell you two markets that I know you missing this shit out of money in. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you two markets, right?
Yeah.
You better take your ass down to the mosque and start selling to the Muslims because you know they be wearing bow ties every Sunday.
Uh-huh.
You know they
Yep.
be out. You be seeing them out there on the street with they bean pies and shit. They bow ties be sharp as hell. So
I
you
got you, definitely.
and military installations,
Oh yeah.
military installations. That's a whole different market in itself. Like I be doing when I do my book tours, I make sure I go to all the military installations because that's a whole market open for itself. But
Absolutely. I'll check that. I'll definitely check that out because my older brother, they're not in it now anymore, but my one of my brothers was in the army and the other brother was in the Navy. And
okay.
so yeah, I'll definitely check those. Thank you for those tips. I'll definitely check both of those out.
Especially with the mods now.
Yeah.
Next time you see, I don't know how they are in Bradenton, but if you go up to like Miami, Orlando, Tampa, stuff like that, that Bean Pie, my brother, Final Call, they be out here. Up here in DC,
Absolutely.
they everywhere. Bean Pie, my brother, Final
Absolutely.
Call, and guess what? They be out there with they wool suits on, and they both.
Look, I will make them for anybody. You hear me?
Yeah,
So like I will do order, I'll do custom orders, I'll do like 20, 30, 50, however many people I need. I mean, how many of them I need to do. They'll be made. I'll be shipping them to them. Free
yeah.
shipping in the United States too, by the way.
See, yeah, look, advertisement. Yeah, this is my brother advertisement. Yeah. But yeah. I was like, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, last summer I was out there buying bean pies from a dude right here around the corner. And he used to be out there, it'd be like 90, 95 degrees. He'd be out there in them wool suits, man. But I know his armpits were funky as a motherfucker. God damn.
Well,
Everything
maybe
going
he
on.
didn't have lining in it because maybe he took the lining out of the jacket. Hopefully,
Man, I don't know, but I don't know. But he
wool
was
a
out
little
there,
too hot now for 90 degrees.
he's out there like this. He out there dabbing his forehead. You need how many pies you want, brother?
No, look, he need to look instead of the that maybe at least a linen suit or something like so he not
Hey,
like he
hey,
burning up in that wool.
hey, man, listen. I'm talking about man. Dudes be out here, corduroy suits and all that. I like,
Oh
man.
yeah,
I was like,
no,
I going too out the corduroy. I ain't seen one of them since the '70s.
yeah,
And
not the
we,
suit. See, I got the jacket here. This one here is corduroy as well.
uh-huh.
But I don't have the pants to match.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I mean, and you also ain't outside in 100-degree heat.
Oh,
Goddamn.
no,
Boy, I talk about they be out there. I'm like, boy, you look casket fresh. So if you have a heat stroke, they can just take you straight to the place, man.
Right, that ain't
They're gonna take you straight to the place, man. No. So
right.
now, let's dive a little bit into your theater work and
Oh
your
yeah.
film and directing, man. So how long have
Yeah.
you been doing that?
Oh, so I started theater, believe it or not. I started working in theater in kindergarten.
What?
I was exposed to Shakespeare in
Uh-huh.
kindergarten. So I grew up in Alabama. I moved to Florida from Chicago. So I've always been working in theater for a long time. So, but I was doing plays and things like that when I was in like literally in kindergarten. And then when I got to junior high, my
Mhm.
mom, she put me into summer camps at Alabama State University. They had a theater program that did, and they still do, that does is a program called Camp 3T, which stood for Teaching Through Theater. So you
Uh-huh.
come there and you stay there for like 2 weeks on campus,
Mhm.
you know, meals and everything, and then you learn about theater. And so I was doing that constantly. And then I was auditioning for print jobs, for movies, for theater, whatever I could get my hands on. My
Yep.
parents was putting me in anything. And like I said, I was a busybody too. So I
Yep.
was constantly being put into all of that. And so I ended up eventually getting my undergrad. I got my bachelor's in theater from Alabama State. And then I got my master's in theater management and arts administration. So I work full time now doing, an associate managing director for a theater company here in Sarasota. And I'm currently working on their new 8-story building. We've raised the funds. It's a $57 million project that I'm working on. And I'm
What?
using what I went to school literally exposed with that and then trying to get like we're gonna have like 3 new theaters and everything, parking, artist housing, all of that. And but
Man,
it's long story short, it came from all of that and being exposed to it. Being exposed to it.
For so long. Then yeah, I'm gonna say, man, I think that is amazing right there because a lot of people go to college and they get these degrees and they don't use them for nothing, right?
Oh, I've been using mine.
Yeah. I was like, they don't use them for nothing, man. So I think that is amazing because now everybody, I'm glad that you're doing theater. I'm gonna tell you why. Because everybody they got a cell phone or one of these one of these cameras, then they can make a Tubi movie. So I'm glad you're doing theater.
Right. You can and see, and I worked in TV and film for a little bit. I used to work over at and when I lived in Atlanta, I worked on the TV show The House of Pain. So I was a stand-in at Tyler Perry Studios for that show, the
Uh,
role of Kevin.
uh,
But I've done tons of things touching with film and TV, but
uh,
I just for some reason I always come back to theater. But theater is the same thing too. Like nowadays, we're trying to like find ways of incorporating film aspects into theater, and it's just amazing how the entertainment business is expanding
yep,
because it's so much you can do with both of them, all of the different mediums for commercials. And what we're doing right now,
yep.
we weren't able to do interviews like this. I had to physically be there in person back in the day, and so like being
That's
able to
right.
use technology
Mhm.
for entertainment in various ways, I think it's amazing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Now the downfall, the downfall about having access to things like this, having access to social media, having access to like Zoom and Teams and doing all this streaming music, streaming TV, the monetary portion is no longer there.
Yeah,
It's no longer there. Like think about this for to make to make I think 1 cent on YouTube, I gotta do like 1,500 streams or something like that, or something like
yeah,
that, or like it's somewhere in there. Like you got to do like 10,000 views just to make $1 or something like that. Something
yeah.
crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's a lot of things. It's the algorithm. It's also now a lot of technology and all of these different social media aspects and things like that and apps and stuff. It's oversaturated.
It
So
is.
we went from, of course, during the pandemic, we went from doing a lot of things that we don't really do as much anymore, like going to the movies in person. A
Yep.
lot of us are waiting for, oh, I'm waiting for it to stream. I'm waiting for it to whatever. But like I think though too, that's why it's important to have these varying types of mediums like theater, because then you can go and see something in person or film or whatever. But also too now, one of the things that I've been trying to do even more of is put, and I know it's different, and I know you can't charge as much, but when the pandemic hit in theater, we were showing videos and things on Zoom and all of that, and doing videos, packages,
Yep.
and all that kind of stuff, and sending it to people too via links. It was less money,
Yep.
but the reach. We was
Yep.
able to go from people not just being in Florida to I could send something to someone that was in Canada, in Africa, in China,
Yep.
wherever who wanted to see it.
Eh,
Like that was a beautiful thing too, because then it started opening up the market,
Yep.
and but again,
I'm gonna
it's a
tell you.
catch to it's
I'm gonna tell you who were genius masterminds during the pandemic. I think, that, of course, the people who was doing the Tubi movies, but
yep.
Swiss and Timbo, the way they did verses, that
Yeah,
mastermind,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
mastermind. And they was like this. After that, I was like, okay, cool. And then Disney started capitalizing on it. They
Oh,
was like, hey, well, we about to start sending these movies straight to Disney Plus. You could buy our network and pay $9.99 or $10 a month, and then you can get the movie on there for $20. They start
yeah,
capitalizing on it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And then also now with Disney Plus and a lot of these other ones, it's a part of my cell phone plan.
Yep. HBO Max, all this stuff, part of the plan.
Right. And it's even cheaper now. So you don't even have to like go how we used to do. You know how you got to buy everything individually. You
Yep.
can even have a lot of that a part of your cell phone plan too. But again, it's making it accessible. And I
Yep.
think that's the thing too. And again, going with the times.
That's
Like,
right.
you know,
But so the only issue, I think this is the only issue we're going with the times. This is just me, right? I think there's certain things we do need to bring, like old school stuff we need to bring back. Like you said, there's a oversaturation, right?
mhm,
Like
yeah,
everybody on Instagram balling, everybody on Instagram doing movies, everybody is a model, everybody's acting, everybody's doing music. It's so overwhelming. You don't know who is what and who is who. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody
mhm,
doing the same thing, right? So
Yeah.
that's why I respect about the theater thing, because it's separate. Like, no, you have to
Mhm.
come down here to see us. We're not just putting movies here. We're just not doing this here. You
Mhm.
have to come here. Now,
Uh-huh.
even with the movie thing now, soon as the first black folk learn how to put movies on Tubi and Amazon, it's been oversaturated ever since.
Mhm. Mhm.
You
Yep.
ever since.
But I think that's also an important note because it's so oversaturated. You have a lot of people who do their social media and their technology purges. And when
Yep,
they do those, that's when I see an uptick, like for what we do in theater,
yep.
because the theater I work for, we
Uh-huh.
have 5 theaters. They're smaller theaters now, but we have 5 on one campus and we're about to have a total of 8. But it's because of the variety of work that we do. And in this community here, a lot of people want to support and come and do something physical because they've been so bogged down with social media, with them just sitting at home, with all that. They just want something different again.
Something
And then the
different.
thing
Yep.
about that they want different is what we was doing, years ago.
Years
Like,
ago.
but it's because they're missing. A lot of people are starting to miss that the actual human connection
I
and
say social interaction. So
social in
human
person.
in-person interaction. Because like a lot of people, what I'm learning, especially like the younger generations of people, they don't know how to interact with other humans. They do not. Like they do
Absolutely.
not. They will see a girl that's pretty in the club. You know what I'm saying? Asking for an Instagram, and instead of getting her phone number, will go home and DM her. Hey, can I get your number?
Right.
And you was just right there. And you was just right there. If you said the right shit, you probably could have took her home. But you want to
Right.
go home, you want to go home and DM her. You know what I'm saying?
Because
So
that's also in a negative. The younger ones, like there's a couple of years past when the pandemic hit, a lot of them were taught interactions through Zoom and Teams and
yep,
all of that. And what happened is they stayed connected to it and they didn't go back to in-person like interactions because a lot of them ended up graduating and some of them even graduated and went to college
yep,
online,
yep.
not even interacting as much. And so yeah, I see that with some of my
And,
students that
and,
I teach,
that's
same
even
thing.
that's even with work. Even with
Yep.
work, we was working from home all that time, and then now we 100% back in the office, and man, they be in there complaining, why we got to be in here, blah blah blah. I'm like, we'll fucking quit then, man. Just
Yeah.
quit.
It's a job. You better take the job. But
We
see,
gonna take
also too,
job.
one of the things that I realized too is with us with theater, because we was creating and doing things different until we could go back, and then we started doing hybrid, and I loved it because we was at home. Then we did 1 day, 2 day back, and then it was like for us it was stair steps, and then eventually we was able to get back in there full time. And
Uh,
sometimes you can still have a day where you can work from home or whatever. But at the end of the day, like I was saying, you better take that job. Look, because things are tight, and I'm a
yep,
person where I can't be dependent on one job. Also, going back to what we was talking about earlier, when I started Dapper Boutique, it was about me wanting to also do something on the side so I could have some extra income coming in, even though it was something I loved that I fell into.
yep.
It's also about making sure I'm not dependent on one thing. Because if the one thing I didn't learn about that pandemic was that no matter what you was doing, a lot of people not only lost their jobs,
Struggle.
they struggle, and then they also feel a lot of people feel out of love with what they were doing.
Yep, that is a fact. I was about to say that too. So I like doing that. That's when I actually really started wanting to get into podcasting, right? And all
Hmm.
that stuff. I
Yep.
was going on people's shows. I was like, oh, this is easy. If y'all can do it, I can do it. Cause y'all show
Yeah.
ain't even that good. Goddamn. Good the fuck. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
if y'all can do it, and that's what made me start writing books. I was on somebody's show and they was talking about their books. And I said, man, I said, yeah, I'm gonna write a book. Everybody started laughing. I wrote 2 books the same year. I was like,
That's
okay,
amazing.
cool. Yeah, I was like, okay, well, fuck y'all too. And I just like shit. I just started writing. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Now,
amazing.
yep. So, but definitely that human interaction. And then during that time, it was a time to reflect. And I think during that time, this is just me personally. I think when we was in the house locked down all that time, people had to sit with themselves and look in the mirror every day and see who they really were. And a lot of people didn't like that. But because they was
Yeah.
out interacting with people, they was doing stuff, they had somebody to talk to every day, stuff like that. A lot of people just sit in the house and just didn't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah.
And that and some reflection kills the fucking ego every day.
Hmm.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. And see, for
So
me, I loved it
me
because the
too.
first 2 weeks, it was tough because I was out of my flow. But When I got used to everything, I started like meditating again, journaling, and then I even did my yoga certification. I'm a Reiki master. I did all that stuff.
Yep.
And but the thing about it is that was amazing was that I was able to truly take time for myself. Even though I was working from home, I
Yep.
was able to work my schedule better. Like I
Yep.
was able to like
Yep.
really hone into me. And like you were saying, that self-reflection was amazing. Now for me, I'm speaking for myself, it was amazing for me because it was time that I didn't truly give to myself
Yeah,
and until that moment happened. And then I honestly came out better from the pandemic for me
yep.
in my life,
Yep.
better.
It was either during that time, it was either you found out that you had the hustle in you, or you just did not. Right?
Right.
There was a lot of people that came out on the back end, like came out with small businesses and stuff like that. And then there was
Mhm.
people that was coming out just still working that one check, or you know what I'm saying, stuff like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
After I started doing vending events after the
Yep.
pandemic and
Vending.
stuff like that, yeah, after it ended, man, all the hustlers was outside. All the people
Mhm.
that took them, they was making cups and bow ties and writing
I
books and
was
stuff.
doing all that
We,
hustle.
it,
Yeah.
we was
Vending.
outside. After it ended, we was outside. Like, yeah, no,
Uh-huh.
it's time to get this bread.
Yeah, because I was making what I did was I was doing the ties initially, and then when the pandemic hit,
Mhm.
I started making masks for all of my theater people that was in New York and
Yep.
Chicago and DC and Atlanta and LA and all these places. And then they started tagging and talking about what I was doing. I ended up doing over 25,000 of those like masks, and I
Uh-huh.
did 5,000 just in like my area. But I
Yep.
was doing the mask, and then what happened was I was doing the mask for people because they didn't want just a regular blue mask. I was
Yep.
doing them with prints, sports teams, whatever I could get my hands on. I was making those and
Uh,
shipping and sending to people. And then after that, when the pandemic started to die down, that's when I started doing head wraps. I was doing bow ties and pocket squares. I had sunglasses. I was fixing people's stuff and bags and stuff. And then I was doing the vending shows, which I still do vending. But now it's certain ones that I do that I
yeah, me
know I'm
too.
going. You know how it is.
I
You know
know,
you're
man.
going.
Yeah,
You
I know
know.
what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like some of them jobs I be going to. I'm like, man, I paid to be here, and I only sold 2 books. I ain't doing this one no more.
Yeah. But when the pandemic was going on and when it was coming out of it, I remember doing those. And that's how I figured out the ones that was good for me. Cause what I make, and I was like, oh, I was like, this one I had done like just I was only there for like a couple hours. I was like, I made $1,000 this fast.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
went from I was doing that one and doing some other ones, and I just rolled that one until I had you know how you I rolled it until like the it got dry. Then I went to another one, then another one, then another one. But I was doing online and still do online and doing like the trade show, whatever the ones now, having
Uh,
my stuff in the little boutique and now in the art gallery. But you
uh,
have to I was doing all of that, then doing my theater thing, and then all the other stuff that was besides that too that I was doing because again, like you were saying, that's when for me, that's when I already knew I could hustle and make ends meet.
yep,
But it was also, I don't know, for some reason, that time away from everybody, it propelled me forward when I could get reconnected to people. And
yep.
it made me want to get out and do my thing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So now, what theater projects do you have out? I know you've been doing theater for a while. What theater
Oh
projects?
yeah. So I just recently directed a stage play at a theater here in it's in St. Pete. It's called White, like the color white, but it's about this black girl. Anyway, I directed that play and honor that was I just did it, just finished it.
Uh,
And so I'm now in a phase where I'm actually working on so what I do at the theater that I work for, I'm producing.
uh,
So I'm usually helping us to get the rights for shows, help it to be cast, and then also what I mentioned about the new building. I'm actually going after dollars, making raising money, making sure we stay on track with the show. So it's not I'm more administrative right now. I just finished my artistic side, so I do both. I'm on artistic whenever I can perform or do something. I just
mhm.
did a show too. It was this 2 character show that I performed in. So I just did that. So I'm out of my performance and directing phase right now, but that's gonna come back around as soon as another gig come out. I'm gonna take it. But
Uh, yeah.
I'm producing at the theater.
Okay.
And that's what I love. Honestly, I love
Uh,
performing and love directing, but producing, being able to be on this side of the table and being able to say yes to people, say no to people, or that's not right for us, or raise the money for this, or make sure I keep us on track to get this building put up in the next 18 months. Like it's a tough job. But what I love about
it's needed. It's
it's
needed.
needed.
It's needed.
It's needed. And I love it too, because again, I'm doing what I went to school for.
Yeah. All right, man. Look, so we at the point of the show where I got some questions.
Oh, I'm ready for you.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Question number 1. Would you box Mike Tyson bare knuckle for $1 million?
Yep, because you didn't say how long.
Yeah. Touche. You just thinking on your feet with that one. Yeah.
Look, give me my $1 million now. Like, you didn't say
Yeah.
how long. So if I can get a couple of a little exchanges, a little bob and weave, and then get out. Look, hey, look, I don't did my thing now. I'll be expecting my $1 million. Because Iron Mike Tyson, look, you done took me out. So look
Yeah.
now, look, if I can get a couple of licks in, get a little sparring thing, a little move and shake, a little bob and weave, yeah, I'm going after that $1 million now.
Hell yeah. Okay. All right.
And then look, if he messed me up, if he broke my nose or something like that, if I get the money, I got the $1 million here, I can get that fixed.
You get it fixed. Fly right on down to Columbia. Next question. Let's go.
Let's go.
10 minutes in a cage with 3 horny gorillas. 3 horny gorillas, or 10 minutes in a cage with 3 lions who have ate in 3 days.
I would say the horny gorillas, only because of the fact that at least I can live. The lions, if they ain't ate, I'll be supper because they ain't look. And then with the horny gorillas too, because of the fact that they might be horny, but they might not notice me. I can hide in the corner, try to get out or something like that, and they be focused on themselves, maybe. And then and the only thing they'll be doing, if I got my clothes on, at least they'll be hunching my leg or something. I can live through that. Look, I can make it through that. I'll be all right.
Let me sit like this. They just gonna drop you right in the middle of the cage. You're like, you try to climb a tree. Like, gorillas can climb trees, dummy.
They do climb trees. Just look, hopefully, look, just get in the corner, do something. Look, they just gonna go. I just let them hump my leg.
Like, gorillas are strong, man. I don't think people understand how strong gorillas are, man. Hey, gorillas are strong.
They strong. Look, but that's the whole point. I was like, at least, but look though, at least I could possibly live out of that versus the lions, though.
No, yeah, the lions coming for blood.
Right.
I remember watching The Ghost in the Darkness. That lion was fucking everybody up.
Mm-hmm. And wait a minute, aren't gorillas? Wait a minute, they do they eat meat?
No, they don't.
So see, I have good shot of living. I'll take the gorillas.
Well, yeah, I mean, these, horny gorilla though, that may be feral in it. You never know.
Look, I don't know. I just know that I wouldn't survive with the lions. I'm gonna take the gorillas. Live to fight another day.
Live to fight another day. Touche. All right, next question. All right. If you won the Powerball, right? And with that money, you can execute one person. Who would it be?
Ooh. There's one person I'm thinking about, but I can't say this because this one went live.
Lock his ass up.
Look, that's the only thing I can say. Oh man, I don't have a specific person in mind, but a type of person or persons plural. I would say people who are child molesters.
Yeah, pedophiles. Yeah, pedophiles. Yeah, I think pedophiles should be castrated and thrown off bridges.
Yeah. So, but not a I don't have a specific person in mind, but yeah, a type of person that.
I think it would. Now, let me tell you this. This is just me. I think it would change everybody's mind about pedophilia if during 1 year during the Super Bowl, they had one for the family to watch, and they had one for the adults to watch. And they shut down all the pedophiles on the table, and then they just had some motherfucking horses, some big ass Clydesdales mount their ass and fuck their ass till they die. You know what I'm saying? I think that the motherfucking pedophilia shit would slow down. I'm just saying.
Right. Well, public display, like public display of that kind of that in general. Yeah,
Yeah.
it changes people. I think it would change people's minds because
Yeah.
you know,
Public executions like that. Yeah,
mhm.
yeah. But it's like, oh,
How it used to be. Yeah, in like
yeah,
places like Rome, ancient
yeah,
Rome, and all those places like that.
public executions. And what's the name? Even in the Middle East, they still do public. Man, listen, I was over there in because I was direct 3 times, and we seen a lady get stoned to death.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man, they had her in the ground, buried up to her neck, and was hitting her ass with them big ass, boom, boom, boom,
Mm-mm.
and it was whipping her ass. She was still breathing till that motherfucker came with that big ass rock. I was like, damn. Her motherfucking
Wow.
her eyeball came out of her head. I was like, damn.
Oh wow. Not for me. You ain't try to save the lady?
No, we couldn't. That's their shit. We couldn't interfere. We couldn't interfere with that shit. I was like, hey man, look. I was like, damn, but he hit her there with that big ass rock. Boom, her motherfucking eye came out of her head. I was like, damn. She was still breathing though. She was dying, but she was breathing. I was like, damn.
Mm-mm.
So if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
I think I would one superpower. I'm looking at this. I got the little toy right in front of me, and I go as him for cosplay. The powers of the Black Panther. Give me that Black Panther suit or that serum. You know the serum he had to take.
Yeah. You should be running around, climbing up on walls and shit.
Yeah, but because that the serum, and then if I can get that suit, because remember vibranium, so it stuff bounced off of it and all this kind of stuff, and it just a whole another ball game with that suit. So yeah, Black Panther, give me those powers.
I would either want time travel or teleportation.
Yeah, a lot of my students always say that.
Yeah, time
But
travel, teleportation.
that because when they be talking about that, I be like, that's because y'all ass be late to class.
Yeah, for sure. I just teleport. I'm here. I've been here. Yeah. So yeah, okay. Now, last question for you. I got you in the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
You like theater. You've been on TV and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you're thriving right now, right?
Yep.
Thriving. You're doing good, right?
Yep.
Theater is going the way it's going. You're performing in the arts. For your theater productions to go top tier and to take off, would you attend a Diddy freak off?
No, It'll take off in the wrong way, and I would. No. Because I think it would be the thing about it is look.
It would be terrible. It'd be too much.
It'd be too much, and then also too the thing about it is that I don't feel that I would ever be able to live that down. You know.
Yeah.
Like I don't think how people be like trying to like turn their life around after all this kind of stuff. I don't feel like I would be able to live that down, and so I don't want that type of look. I don't want that type of notoriety.
It was crazy though. Like hearing like I like after the trial and everything, Cassie was just as guilty as him.
There's a lot of people that's connected to that.
There's a lot of people that's connected to it. Yeah. I'm like, man, and then they start talking about kids and all this stuff.
Your reputation, when you just like I said about the pedophilia earlier, your reputation with that, especially with children being involved under 8, it just same thing with the Epstein files and all that kind of stuff. Yep. You put yourself in a position there where it's very difficult. I don't even know if you'll ever be able to live that down and come back from that and have the public forgiveness that how celebrities, and I'm not there yet, maybe one day, but like how how celebrities truly
Yep.
can turn things around. And they can sometimes, but
Yep.
then it's some that you can never get back to that. And I don't think so. I don't.
And
But then also, it's some people who attended those Diddy freakouts, and their like publicity has gone scott.
it's
It's
right,
gone
yeah,
up.
it's went up, especially like
Yep.
the baby mothers, some of the people in security guards, stuff like
Hmm.
that. They doing interviews all over the place now. I
Hmm.
did this. I think this one, like, you know how when people come back, get out of jail and stuff like that. I don't think. I mean, these couple years he's gonna be gone. It's gonna die down a little bit, but I don't think he's gonna be celebrated when he come home. If that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah,
I agree with
yeah. I don't think he's gonna be celebrated. Well, that's all the questions that I got. You know what I'm saying?
you.
Now, hey, come on, brother Travis, tell everybody where they can find you at.
Oh yeah, so they can check me out. I'm on everything. It's the same thing on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of that, everything, all the social media. I'm at Dapper and then Boutique, Bowtique. And then the same thing, they can go to my website, dapperboutique.com, and
Yep,
they can do everything, including custom orders online. They can hit me up on Instagram, like most people do,
yep,
or
yep,
TikTok or something. They can hit me up in any of those places. I actually do check my DMs. If it's not me, it's like 2 or 3 of the other people who work with me that's making stuff with me as well. But like they can hit me up. I'm down to earth. We can talk, do everything. I can make something, like I said, weddings. I love weddings. So I'm
yep.
constantly doing people's weddings and stuff like that, and like stuff for birthdays and all that. So they
Yeah,
can
yeah,
always
I
hit
was
me
saying,
up.
yeah, it was easy getting you scheduled, man. We talked a couple of times. I was like, hey, man, here's the date.
Oh
He said,
yeah.
okay, I'll be there.
Yeah. And that's how it should be, especially
Yeah,
going back to, if you're trying to expand your business and you're trying to expand your community and connection, you got
yeah,
to jump on these opportunities.
yep, yep. And then you gonna see a little uptick. Watch you when the show go out there. I'm gonna send you all the links,
Oh,
share them out. You
amazing.
know, it's gonna be 2 thumbs up.
I'm gonna share it. And then like I said too, I'm gonna look into your books and stuff like that too.
Oh
And
yeah.
making sure, yeah, definitely.
All right, man. Well, look, I'm glad you came on the show tonight. You've been a phenomenal guest. But then now it's time for me to get this show rolling.
All right.
I appreciate you, brother, man.
All right. Anytime. Anytime,
Uh,
brother.
you got to have you back.
All right. Likewise. I can't wait to do
All right.
it.
All right.
All right.
Man, that was a phenomenal show, y'all. Phenomenal show. Yeah, phenomenal show. Hey, man, listen, when you meet good people, man, you meet good people, they make good products, all that stuff. They out here giving back to the community. Make sure, man, y'all taking care of these kind of people, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Travis, man, doing this thing in the theater. He's doing something different. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And with the bow ties and the pocket squares and the fabric and stuff like that. So it's a lost craft that he's still in it. So I appreciate it. Appreciate that a lot, man. And make sure y'all support. Because you know what I'm saying? Once this link go up, y'all go watch everything, y'all can support. It's gonna be fun. Now, we're gonna get to the community event. All right. Community event. All right, y'all. So, like I said, I had a surprise for y'all. Well, it's not a surprise, but I have another event coming up. All right. I have another event coming up. So, starting March the 16th, I believe. March the 16th. Let me double check. So we had the wrong date. Yeah, March the 16th, right? Starting March the 16th. I'm going to be doing a canned food drive, right? Now, I'm doing this canned food drive because during this winter has been rough. People have been getting laid off. You know what I'm saying? People have been getting laid off. People have been losing their jobs, getting fired. The winter's been cold and brutal, and people have been needing to go to these pantries to get food. So I guess my goal and my mission is to refill some of these food pantries, right? So I'm going to be taking like dry foods, canned foods, stuff like that, right? So that's going to be that's our mission is to refill some of these pantries, give back to the community, all right? If you can spare 1 can or 2 can or something like that, you know what I'm saying? That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Because the coat drive was successful. It was successful. I appreciate everybody that donated, all right? But this is going to run from March the 16th till June the 1st, all right? No, hold on. That's a long ass time. March the 16th till May the 1st. Sorry. Yeah, to May the 1st. All right. March 16th to May the 1st. I'm doing a canned food drive. And again, let's give back so we can fill up these pantries and we can keep people in the community fed. All right. Is that fair? I think that's fair. You heard me? I think that's fair. All right. Y'all agree? I agree. I think that's fair. And that's my community event. So look, I'm gonna give y'all updates of the drop-off locations and stuff like that. I know Dee's Barbershop is gonna be one of the participating spots. Over here where I live at gonna be a participating spots, and then I'm gonna post something, a couple where I work and stuff like that, and other follow-on locations. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and give back, y'all. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and give back. You hear me? All right, and that's my community event. All right. So my read of the week this week. My read of the week this week, as I ain't got one for y'all. You know why? Because I'm in the process of editing all my books and stuff right now. So I haven't had a real chance to sit down and read anything new. I'm still finishing a couple books that I was reading before, but I told y'all about those already. But I've been in the process of editing all my books. So there's no read of the week this week. I come back with something new for y'all next week. All right. I come back with something new. And I'll probably start a new book tonight. Okay. Then I get back to y'all. Y'all know I read a lot. So I'm gonna get back to y'all. Okay. Now, here we are. Everybody's favorite segment of the show. Everybody's favorite segment of the show. The shit you can't make up, right? And it gets easier for me every week. Every week, right? Hey, so y'all can look at her and y'all can tell that something's wrong. She's mentally challenged. Look at her smile. Look at her head. I don't know if this alopecia. I don't know if they pulled her wig off. I don't know what's going on with her. But she in a bad spot. And they gonna drag her in jail. She might as well just get the baldy bean. I don't know why she just get the baldy bean, man. Like, what's going on? Right? She may have a condition, so I ain't trying to make fun of her. But she should not be smiling in this picture. Right? She should not be smiling in this picture. Everybody don't need to be a parent. Everybody don't need to be working in healthcare, right? She's an example of that. She don't need to be working in healthcare, right? She don't need to be working with senior citizens. Anything they got to deal with working with people, she don't need to be doing with. Just look at her. She looks evil. Look at her. Most importantly, she ain't even got no cornrows underneath that thing. Like, what's really good? The fuck? So anyway, I don't want to laugh at this lady right here, right? So anyway, this chick is a 19-year-old girl, 19-year-old Georgia girl, right? Loganville, Georgia, to be exact. I don't know what part of Georgia that is, but if they look like her, I don't want to go. If they do shit like her, I don't want to go, right? Now, this girl's at the beginning of her life, and she may have just thrown it all away for fucking likes. Attention and likes is a hell of a fucking drug. How many times have I come on this show and talk about niggas' need for attention? She's another one that has need for attention. And you can't make it up. So that's one of the reasons that I'm giving her dumbass of the week, right? She needs the attention. She needs the like. She needs the love. What I am happy about is that somebody had the dignity to report her ass. Because she don't need to be working nowhere where she has to handle people. Now, this girl's only 19 years old. Only 19. She don't look it. She looks a lot older than 19. She definitely looks a lot older than 19. But she's only 19 years old. So I know we still trying, we grow, we get older, we grow, stuff like that. But her looking like that and doing the dumb shit she was doing, I don't know what her future gonna look like, but I know it's gonna involve some jail time. Right? So let me tell you what she did. So she's working with adult elderly patients and stuff like that, or men with that's mentally incapacitated, right? They can't take care of themselves, right? And that's the old lady from Georgia, right? They are disabled, meaning they can't take care of themselves. So her, for the likes, for the attention, for y'all that don't give a fuck about her, she takes out her device that gets so many y'all in trouble, goes on TikTok and starts twerking on one of the disabled men's heads. Hear me? Popping pussy for a real nigga. Twerking on a nigga head. Disabled man, right? Then she gonna take one of the man's pills, put it in her mouth, open his mouth, put the motherfucking pill in his mouth with her mouth. For y'all likes, for your attention. Doing dumb shit like that. That was not enough, right? That's not enough for her. Looking at her, her future's calling for a disabled man. Because she looks disabled. So the future's calling a disabled man for her. You can just look at her and tell, right? That one wasn't not enough, right? Another one, she grinded on him. Grind on me. Grind on him, right? Grinding on a disabled man. He's sitting there, slumped over in the chair. She grinding on him. Loads the video up to TikTok, social media, Instagram, wherever she was finding y'all dumbass attention at. I'm gonna give y'all a little piece of this dumbass too for condoning this, right? So that wasn't enough for her. Third time, she goes, finds a disabled man laying in the bed, straddles the man. Starts grinding on him, start riding the man's face in her little scrunchies. How and why, right? So the videos were reported. Good job for the person that reported this video, because I would have never heard about this story. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, right? Now, the police go and get her from work. If y'all can look and see, she still got her work shirt on. She still got her work shirt on, right? Come get her from work because the videos were reported. And she gets locked up for felony exploitation of a disabled person. Right? Felony exploitation of a disabled person. And there are additional charges. Especially for the one with her doing the goddamn drugs and kissing the dude in the mouth and making him take it. Because there ain't no regular man kissing her in the mouth. You can't make this kind of shit up. It happens every week. She looked like I think she was like Nigeria or something. I don't know, but I don't know. But with the name she got, there's definitely a lot of niggerdom in there, right? So, my dumb ass of the week, before I get to that, she's in jail right now. She didn't get no bond. Hopefully they keep her there. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully somebody's in there massaging some super grow in her scalp, because she needs it for sure, right? But my dumb ass of the week is going to 19-year-old Lucresia. That's right, Lucresia Kormassa Koiyan. I don't know if I said any of it right, and I don't give a fuck if I did or I didn't. What I do know is that the jail that she's about to be sitting in, she deserves to be there. And Lucresia, you're getting dumbass of the week. Fuck is you talking about, fucking stupid, doing dumb shit like this? I don't understand, and I never will. But y'all make it easy for me every week, and I appreciate you for it. Thank you a ton. Lucresia, I hope you in there right now, laying in the bed with your bunkmate, getting fondled. I don't want you to get hurt, but I want you to learn a lesson. because he ain't even 21 yet. All right. Now, with that being said, that's my dumbass of the week. All right. That is my dumbass of the week. All right, y'all. So tonight was another good show. Man, y'all make sure y'all support you know what I'm saying, Travis, you know what I'm saying? Help him, you know what I'm saying, get everything together and stuff like that. Y'all make sure y'all support him. Make sure he good, you know what I'm saying? Support his entrepreneurs, his endeavors, and all that stuff. And I really, really, really appreciate everybody that's steadily supporting me. I really, really appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. I really, really do appreciate it. All right. Keep supporting, keep listening, keep watching. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna be good to go. Thank y'all, because y'all on this journey with me. Now, with that being said, let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah.